So hi from Bali, everybody. As promised, this is the first in the collaborative video as part of your rewards for Kickstarter. I'm here and over the last 2 weeks I've met some really good friends and colleagues and learned so much about entrepreneurship, about working together, about collaboration. So I've invited two of the people I've been working with over the past couple of weeks to help us with this conversation and to explore the concept of collaboration a little bit more. John is from the UK, and hi John. Can you tell us a little bit about the collaborative venture that you're about to start on?
Yes, thank you, Celia. We're looking at creating property-related collaboration for sustainable cities and communities, basically by allowing investors to invest money into a community, not only to create wealth, but also to sustain the community, bring to life the community as well.
Okay.
And create opportunities for people within the community to invest in properties.
Yeah. So quite John's initiative is quite purpose-driven, driven by John's kind of sense of purpose around sustainable cities
true.
and sustainable communities, a really important topic. Can I just ask you, John, do the other potential collaborators in this project share that passion and that vision?
At the moment, we haven't discussed it in full, but I've known these guys for a long time, and they seem to have similar core values. What I'm hoping to do is take advantage of everything that iLab and Genius U brings and invite them to do the dynamics testing and the purpose test to see whether their values marry in with mine as well, because it needs to be a team.
And maybe
situation.
Just to explain that to you guys, part of the program that we're learning about here is based on a platform called Genius U, where there's a number of profiling tests and psychometric testings that you can draw on, and a lot of information around the different energies that are in groups and how they work together, and what's our own genius and how we develop that. And I'll put up some information at the end about that. But John has touched on a few key points there that are important when embarking on a collaboration. The first one is be very clear about your own purpose, but also be clear that the people that you're collaborating with know about what your purpose is, and ideally share that purpose, or that you can find common ground with their purpose. Secondly, think about who you're going to bring in, who you're getting involved with, both in terms of what they can bring to the collaboration, but also in terms of their energy and the type of person that they are. Because if you have a room full of people who are gung-ho with ideas, it'll be great, but you'll trip up at somewhere along the line. So you need a nice balance between the people who are going to focus on tasks, people that are going to keep an eye on the timeline, and people like John who are really driven with the passion and the purpose. And John also brings a nice kind of timeline energy to the work as well, as I've discovered over the past while. Thanks for that, John. I'm going to move to Will from South Africa, but with very strong Irish connections and roots, and a lovely daughter who has a name of Erin. So we'll be working on bringing them across to the wild Atlantic way over the next couple of years. Will, you operate a large business in South Africa, and you have a lot of people working who obviously are working together on teams and on projects. Correct, yeah. And what have you found really works in terms of when you want your team to have a collaborative approach to something?
So Celia, we have multiple teams working on different projects, and the key thing with all of those is to be very clear as to what those objectives are. So the projects we work on are shorter time frames. Unlike John's, which is more vision driven, ours are more specific deliverables in specific time frames. So shorter time frames, but the same kind of approach is necessary. Be clear on what's deliverable and who must deliver what in what time frame.
Absolutely, and you've touched on some really key pieces there in terms of being really clear about the objectives, and not just the leader being clear about the objectives, but the whole team being really clear about the objectives. So sharing a common language, making sure that everybody understands what it is you mean. Also having processes, having a good process in place, and agreeing that people know what the process is at the outset, and that's something maybe, John, you can think about. What types of processes are you going to use and how are you going to communicate that to people? And then finally, I think, again, no more than with John, just the different energies that you have in the group.
Yes.
I'm sure as you go back now with all this knowledge, you'll be
Yes.
looking at teams a little bit differently. But something to think about is that when people are constantly working on task-oriented and, possibly sometimes mundane tasks, but that to connect them into the bigger picture and the bigger vision of the company and why they're there, brings that kind of bit of energy to it as
Yes.
well. So I'm going to summarise some of these in points and put them at the end of this clip and direct you to some useful websites as well. I'd like to thank John and Will,
Thank you. You're
and I'll be back to you guys with the second videos very soon.